Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. A few days ago, I was looking for an ATM. Now, you might remember what that is because I did a podcast on it a few weeks ago. An ATM is one of those machines where you put your card in and it gives you money. An ATM is an acronym for automated teller machine. It's called an automated teller machine because bank clerks, the ones that give you money in the bank, they are known as bank tellers. Tellers. Okay, so if you go to the bank teller gives you the cash. So the machine is an automated teller. And that's where we get the acronym ATM. Now, I was searching for this ATM yesterday and I couldn't find one anywhere. So I called my friend and I said, "Do you know where there's an ATM around here?" And he said, "Yeah, there's one inside my tattoo parlor." And I thought, "Really? You have tattoos?" And this led into a very big discussion. So we arranged to meet for coffee. And we met at the tattoo parlor. He says it's his tattoo parlor, but he doesn't own it. It's the one that he uses. And of course, sure enough, inside there was an ATM. Now, this led into a conversation, of course, about tattoos, because my friend is the same age as I am, and so I asked, "Really? You have tattoos?" Waiting to hopefully be given more information because, I didn't want to ask directly. I didn't want to say where because there was no obvious signs of ink on his face, neck, or arms. So he said, "Yeah, I have 3, he said. And I said, "Really?" He said, yeah, I have a rose on my shoulder, a fish on my back, and then I can't remember the third one. I think it's an anchor from a boat he has on his side." And I asked him, "Well, why? That's all, just why?" And he said for him it was not really a big thing. One of them was done when he was drunk. Another one was done, I think, as a dare, and a third one was done out of choice because he said they can become quite addictive. Once you have one, you kind of want a second one and more. And I thought, "Oh, really? Interesting." Anyway, this led us on to another discussion about who's allowed to donate blood. And so I asked him, "Is it true that if you have a tattoo, you can't donate blood?" In every country, we have systems for giving the hospital blood just on a voluntary basis. I know in some countries, if you donate blood, you get paid for it. You don't get paid for it here. You're given a cup of coffee and a biscuit. And it's a little bit strange because there's this massive list of things which stop you giving blood. So it's not like they welcome you and they say, "Oh, sit down, let's take your blood." You have this really uncomfortable interview where they ask you everything. They ask you when your last tattoo was done, if you have any. They ask you about your intimacy, your level of intimacy, and who that intimacy was with. Or they're very, very thorough. By the end of it, you feel so psychologically scarred that you might not want to give blood anyway. So it's a little bit odd. So anyway, I was talking to my friend and he said, if you've just had a tattoo, then you can't donate blood. And I said, "Really? Oh, interesting. Well, Of course, I don't have any tattoos. I don't particularly like them, but I am aware that some people are very partial to them. So I decided to have a look at the Give Blood website, and the questions on here are crazy. So let's just go through a few of them. Okay. So, first of all, can I give blood after having COVID? If you have had COVID, please read our literature about whether you can give blood. Can I give blood if I'm taking medication? We'll need to check with your doctor. Can I take blood if I'm taking antibiotics? No, you need to wait until you're off the antibiotics. Can I give blood if I feel under the weather? That just means if I feel ill. If you're feeling under the weather, please wait until you feel better. Can I give blood if I have a cold sore, like little spots on my arm? You must be healed and recovered from any kind of infection for at least 2 weeks. Can I give blood if I have a heart condition? No, we need to check. Can I give blood if I have had cancer? Depends on the type. Can I give blood if I have had a blood transfusion in the past? Yes, you can. Can I give blood if I have ever had an organ transplant? No. Can I give blood if I have high or low blood pressure? It is possible, yes, but we need to check. Can I donate blood if I'm pregnant? No. Can I donate blood if I have a tattoo? Not if it's done recently. Can I give blood if I have had acupuncture? It might be possible, but probably not. Can I give blood if I smoke? Smoking does not stop you from being able to give blood. However, please note that you can't smoke inside our centres. Be a bit obvious, isn't it? Can I give blood if I'm gay? It says here, we don't prevent it. However, if you've changed partners in the last 3 months, or if you've had more than one partner in the last 3 months, we will assess your eligibility. Jeez, it sounds like something from a 1950s medical guide, doesn't it? Can I give blood if I've ever been outside the UK? Traveling to some parts of the world can affect your ability to donate blood. Honestly, I wonder whose blood they can take. Some white, British-born, conservative person who has no need for organ transplants, tattoos, Chinese medicine, or has issues with their sexuality. Isn't that really strange? Yeah, so that's the rules for giving blood. I wonder what it's like in your country. Okay, so it says here, if you want to know if you're eligible, do our quick quiz. So here we are. Have you got or have you had any heart conditions? I'll say no to that. See what it says. Are you pregnant? Do you have a baby? Have you miscarried or had an abortion in the last 6 months? I'll say no to that one. In the last 4 months, have you been outside of the UK? Okay, I'll say no. Have you donated either whole blood, plasma, or platelets in the last 16 weeks? I'll say no. There we are. In the last 4 months, have you had your ears, nose, face, or body pierced? No. In the last 4 months, have you had a tattoo, semi-permanent makeup, or any cosmetic treatments that involved piercing the skin? No. In the last 4 months, have you had acupuncture? I haven't, but I'm going to say yes to that, just to see what it says. Okay. So it came up with a notice saying you need to check on that. In the last 4 months, have you had a flexible endoscopy or colonoscopy? Colonoscopy. No, thankfully. In the last 3 months, have you been intimate with a new partner, or have you been intimate with more than one partner? No. In the last 4 weeks, have you been in contact with anyone with an infectious disease? Well, how do I know? I don't just go up to people and say, sorry, but I was going to sit here, but can I just check to make sure that you don't have any infectious diseases? That would be funny, wouldn't it? In the supermarket. Excuse me, just while we share the same meat cabinet, you don't have any infectious diseases, do you? No, good. So how would I know? And what is an infectious disease? So I'll say no to that. Have you had any infection in the last 2 weeks, or have you taken antibiotics? No. In the last 7 days, have you had a cough, sore throat, or are you showing symptoms of a cold? Okay, they got me with that one. I'm going to have to say yes, because you can hear from my voice that I have a cold. Oh, here we are. So it terminated the quiz, and it said, sorry, but if you've been feeling under the weather with any of these things, you need to wait 7 days before you give blood. And it's not allowing me back to the quiz. Oh, interesting, isn't it? I'm surprised to get anyone to give blood, to be honest. I remember during COVID, there was a young girl, I think she was only 18 or 19, and we had these like TV interviews with doctors on the government programs. You know, they had these government advisory programs with the Prime Minister every day. And as part of that, they did this question and answer, Q&A thing. And this girl, she asked them, I'm only 18 years old. Is it okay for me to visit my boyfriend? And the answer they gave was hilarious. It really was like a 1950s housewife. This female doctor, apparently she was the head of the government's COVID or medical board, she said, well, you know, at this time we recommend that you simply stay at home and reflect on whether this boy is really the one for you. If you can just perhaps spend some time reflecting on his qualities and how well he'll be providing for you, and also what life might look like with him in the future. You should discuss him with your friends and family, and then once the COVID rules are lifted, of course you'll be free to visit him again. I mean, really? Well, this is Britain in 2023, and at that time, of course, it was 2021, but what an answer to give. It's no wonder we're a little bit repressed here in the UK with all of these hidden mixed messages. We are a bit obsessed with morality, that's for sure. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.